Hello, my name is Ashley Davis Bush, and I'm the author of Transcending Loss, Understanding the Lifelong Impact of Grief and How to Make It Meaningful, which was published under the name of Ashley Davis Prend in 1997. I'll show you my book because I'm going to be talking about it, Transcending Loss. Basically, I started writing this book in the 1990s. It was published in 97, and I had a curiosity. I was working with grievers in a community mental health setting. I was seeing a lot of grievers, a lot of people talking about how they couldn't get over grief. And I started having a curiosity about why is it that some people seem to get very bitter and they kind of shut down over time after a loss, and other people use the loss as a springboard for growth and sort of new compassion and new avenues in their lives that it hadn't been possible before. I wanted to understand why some people went in this other direction versus the other direction. I started researching it. I interviewed 50 people for the book, 50 grievers who over time were making meaning out of their loss. And I felt a calling, essentially, to write this book. And I'm proud to say that 13 years later, it's still helping grievers. And I still get emails and cards and letters from grievers about how it's helping them, which is extremely gratifying for me. And I think the reason is because this book does not talk about acceptance being the end of the process. It doesn't talk about closure as being a goal. It talks about how to integrate loss into the fabric of your being and how to use it to make meaning. So I'll tell you a little bit about the structure, which is that the book is broken down into a couple of different parts. Looks at the beginning of the journey, which is really the first year or two, with the stages of shock, disorganization, and reconstruction. And then it looks at the lifelong impact with two stages that I call synthesis and transcendence. And synthesis is about integrating the loss into your life and living with it. And transcendence is about getting a new perspective, essentially lifting above the grief, if you will, while taking it with you, but using it as fuel for growth. And I talk specifically about 4 avenues that grievers do this with regards to spirituality, outreach, getting out of yourself and giving to others, attitude, how your attitude changes over time, and reinvestment, how to reinvest in life. And those 4 avenues, SOAR, are easy to remember by the acronym SOAR. I also talk about people who get stuck in grief, so-called complicated grief, and how to get out of that, the roadblocks and detours to transcendence, and also getting back on track, because it's never too late to decide to be a transcender. I found this an extraordinary book to research, to write. It was a privilege, it was an honor, and I believe in its message for helping grievers. So I hope you'll take a look at it and let it change you, let your loss change you, and let this book help you, show you how to do that. Good luck on the journey.